How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up
Matisse
CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Look. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conti and Nick, number 30. I'm Will Nicholson, and as always, I have with me Gino Conti, and we're back at Bridgewater State University again.
A special Tuesday.
A good old special Tuesday episode. A little different, but life happens, so we're switching it up a little bit today, doing something a little bit different. But I'm always excited to be here, to be doing Conti and Nick, and man, 30. 30,
dude,
man, come on.
I know, it's always like, oh my god, I can't believe it. But it's crazy, man. I still remember I we randomly texted when I'm like, bro, want to start a podcast? Just it wasn't even this planned huge announcement.
Yeah. We got breakfast, and then as we were driving back, we're like, man, what should we call this thing?
Yeah, legit. We were playing yard games with your brothers and the side of your yard. What was it, the football game or whatever?
Ball. Oh no, the one with the chair.
Yeah, that one. I know it was a fun game. I just don't remember the name of it.
No, I don't.
But and then we were pondering games back and forth, and we're like, fuck it, Conti and Nick.
Yeah.
And dude, it's stuck,
I remember we asked my dad too. We were just like, hey, what would be your name? He's like, what about just Conti and Nick, straight to the point. Just straight there. You're Nick, he's Conti.
Yeah. We got a good handle on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the best too. It was available on Instagram and everything.
I think the runner-up was the big and the bold or whatever.
Yeah, the big and the bold.
I remember that.
The big and the bold, which also wasn't a bad name. But
and everyone knows who the hell
I found out that there's a soap opera called The Bold and the Beautiful or whatever. So I was like, those are too close. Those are too close together.
We'd blow them out the water. Screw your soap opera.
Exactly. But yeah, we're back here, and we had a great Monday Night Football game last night, and that's what we're talking about today.
Sorry, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yes.
I do apologize for the circumstances, too, that we are doing this on a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
I do, unfortunately, have to go to a funeral tomorrow, or a wake tomorrow, I'm sorry. And, life happens. It's all good. I'm good. But we just have to do it today. I'm like, I don't want to miss out on Conti and Nick. I don't want to miss out on an episode. I still want to do something that makes me happy, and obviously makes Will happy as well. Mm-hmm. So I just thought I'd throw it out there. I'm good. So let's get on with this thing, man. Because I'm excited. I'm telling you, I usually have hot takes. Okay, usually, and that kind of goes without saying. I don't think I've really ever fanboyed, if you will. That's kind of cringe to say, but I don't think I've ever just burst out in excitement in this podcast. Can you recall a time?
No, it's I've seen bursts of rage.
Yeah, bursts of rage. That's
about it.
But I'm telling you, if there's something that just makes me so happy, it was yesterday's game. So let's dive into it.
This was
please.
Gino's dream of a game.
Don't say dream. It was my wet dream.
This was and me and Gino were joking before because we were like, oh, me and Gino will text back and forth pretty much all week and be like, oh, what do you want to talk about on the podcast this week? And we'll go back and forth with ideas of something that ends up being we disagree with. We just fun stuff to talk about.
It makes for a great show.
Exactly. No, it does for sure. And last night we're like, oh, let's talk about the Patriots. We'll react to the game tomorrow. And I told Gino before I saw the weather, I was like, I'm gonna come out and be like, Mac Jones is that guy, he's that dude, which I still think, by the way. And I'm like, you know what? And tomorrow is gonna prove it too. Tomorrow is gonna be we're gonna be like Mac Jones. And Gino was like, yeah, if he throws the ball over 10 times. And I was like, that's funny. And I was like, oh.
Turns out he didn't throw the ball over 4 times. Over 3 times.
It was insane. So, Gino, I got to ask, right?
Please ask. I'm so happy.
What is your initial reaction to this game? Or just an overall, I guess, summary of what you saw?
I said it in the sports group chat earlier, okay? In terms of personal favorite games, this has now eclipsed my top 5. And
which is a lot saying. We are Patriots fans. We've seen 6 Super Bowls.
And here's the thing. I'm not talking about top 5 Patriots games, favorite Patriots games. This is me personal favorite. I'm not talking
top
about
5 ever.
Yeah, this yesterday was in like I said, eclipsed the top 5 games of me personal favorite of all time. That's that absurd. Game last night was something so beautiful. It was something so great to behold. Okay, listen, I've been on the record on this show saying how much I love Mac Jones. Okay, but I am just so happy with the product I saw last night. It was a great game to behold. Okay, like nothing satisfies me more than saying, here, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna do it. We are going to make no secret about it, and there is nothing you can do to stop it. Okay, that's like the Larry Bird attitude, you know.
Yeah,
I know it's different sports,
it.
but like that's the Larry Bird attitude, and I love it. And football was my first love. I hate to sound all corny, okay, but football was my first love, and will forever be my first love. And just to see because it doesn't come around all that often, okay?
Jeez.
Let me just tell you, this doesn't happen that often. So when it does, it's something to behold. I'm so happy, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I being a little weird right now?
No. I mean, like, look, Gino, if you haven't, been following the podcast, is a massive fan of like original football and like
if
the
you've ever
30s
played
and
me
40s.
in Madden.
Yes, and all Gino's like, oh, like in the 60s, like, oh, pound the rock, work the ball downfield. Like that's Gino, and we got to see that yesterday. It was just the playbook was it looked like Marshawn Lynch came up with it. It was just run through an MF face and
nope, Marion Motley, Sammy Ball.
Oh my God, these are all Gino's guys, and like look. I will say the game was very entertaining. It was close, but it was like, wow, like this is in the modern NFL. Like this is what we're doing. Like this is passing the ball. Was it the right game plan? I mean, yeah, clearly it was. I mean, I think this shows, just from my reaction, how far Bill Belichick separates from the rest of the coaches. Everyone's been saying, oh, Bill Belichick needs Brady. Belichick needs Tom Brady. Belichick proved last night he doesn't need a quarterback at all. I mean, Brian Hoyer,
legitimately.
honestly, you could have probably put like a random guy in the street back there and just said hand the ball off and like.
No, you legitimately could have. Like
it was insane.
That is not an exaggeration to say you could have picked up somebody off the street. You could have picked up Johnny Manziel. Like it is not an exaggeration to say Johnny Manziel could have played quarterback for the New England Patriots yesterday. That is not an exaggeration.
It was insane. I've never seen a game like that. And look, we've seen games where it's okay. You have a game manager and you have a good run game, but they still run play action. They still run, passing schemes. And Belichick said, "No, I don't need a quarterback." Tom Brady. I need Tom Brady.
Hand off to Brandon Bolden.
First of all, those pissed me off. I still am not a fan. I'm not a fan of Brandon Bolden on third down. Still, it doesn't matter what.
I'm not a fan of Brandon Bolden, period. Okay?
You
say the Jets can't draft, period. I'm not a fan of Brandon Bolden, period.
That's true.
Okay?
The Jets cannot draft. Period.
So, in all seriousness, like I know I'm here like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I know I'm here like wetting my pants right now. Okay? But will you agree when I say that last night's game was a spectacle? Like, would you agree with that?
I've never seen anything. We'll never see anything like that again.
If I'm not wrong, I think yesterday tied the all-time NFL record for least amount of completions in a game, like in a victory.
Yeah,
I believe that's the record.
It just shows how far Belichick is from the rest of these coaches. I mean, yeah, Sean McDermott, I think, is a pretty good coach, and he knew the situation, and he was like, okay, when we have a quarterback who has a strong arm still, and also shout out to Josh Allen, by the way, because the way that he was slinging some of those balls in 156, or not that much, sorry.
156. Bro, we're
I
talking
just thought
about
of Henry Ruggs.
Man.
I know, I thought of that's the Henry Ruggs number, my bad.
Hey.
I know.
That man shall not be mentioned on this show.
56, excuse me.
Him.
Around 50 to 55, mile per hour winds. And Josh Allen is slinging that thing. I mean, it felt like 156 miles out there the way the ball was going. It was insane. And Josh Allen was still, being an accurate thrower. I mean, the announcers on Monday Night Football were going crazy about like, oh, he can throw from this angle, he can throw from that angle. They were talking about different corners of the end zone that he likes to throw to.
Yeah.
And he was fitting that ball in. He was getting it in there. There was the one toe tap play Stephon Diggs had in the fourth where I'm like, man, this kid has a nuke for an arm. Mac Jones threw like a little floater pass, and it almost carried over Jonnu Smith's head.
Yeah, and
Josh Allen is out here throwing like 30-yard bombs, and they're accurate in 50 mile per hour winds in 30-degree weather. That is insane. That is ridiculous. How just having that type of arm talent. But
so
it just
no,
shows...
Colin, that's what I said. I said it tied. I said it tied. So
Okay.
like 2 completions, 2 for 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
least completions of the game, 1 in 1970. Yeah, so I said it tied. But anyways, would you go as far as to say that last night's game was arrogance
Was it arrogance?
from Bill Belichick?
No.
Like,
I don't think
I'm
so.
not even saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a funny way. Like, literally, Bill Belichick's like, yeah, we're going to run the same 5 plays or 4 plays every time.
I mean,
that's how damn good I am.
That's
like,
situational football, in my opinion. I mean, is it the most extreme situational football ever? Yeah, but
I literally texted you last night.
crazy.
And I go, Will, this was straight up arrogance.
Yeah, no,
like I'm just gonna pull my pants down and let them hang, and I'm just gonna run the same
what we're gonna
5
do.
plays
Yeah.
every single day. We all know that Josh Allen got that strong arm. Yes, Jake, and
does.
I'm not gonna acknowledge the comment that you left above that. But
I already accidentally said it.
oh, did you? Oh, I didn't even.
Oh,
hear.
no, just that whole situation.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
you know, it happens. But I really think, and I've said this a couple times, but this shows Belichick's separation. Did Sean McDermott go in there with a good game plan? Yeah, that was pretty good. Sean McDermott knew the situation, and he just wasn't successful. You know how many games Belichick has had to play in like nor'easter conditions? It's like 30 plus.
Oh
Like
my God.
The amount of games that he's played.
Tuck rule game too.
My grandpa, I feel like everyone knows someone that's at the top
Yeah,
of the game. This
someone-
is the first time the Patriots were good since like '96 when they made the Super Bowl.
Really, well, obviously I do that, but like,
Yeah.
that's crazy that like everyone knows somebody that went just so happened to
Yeah.
go to the Tuck game. And we're going off guard, but just real quick, my dad was like, I could not see the Vinatieri game-winning field goal. He goes, whether I knew he made it or not was off the reaction of the crowd, and he didn't do anything until he heard the crowd cheer, and he just went along with it.
Yeah.
So I listed my MVPs of the game yesterday. Okay, because I really thought that this was important. And it's really important for someone to acknowledge, or for people to acknowledge just how much of a team effort that this was. Okay, I have 4 of them. So you ready?
Yeah.
Number 1, the entire offensive line.
Yeah, that
Okay,
deserved.
like they lined up in a 6-man, well, not a 6-man front. They lined up with 6 offensive linemen every single play in a tight bunch formation. Was like, this is what we're doing. Like, they played phenomenal. Like, to run the same 4 plays for 4 quarters, and to perform it like well and still execute at the end of the whistle.
It's insane.
That's insane.
Yep.
Number 2, Jakob Johnson.
Okay.
You know, he had that big block.
He did.
Like, and he was the reason why the touchdown was made. You know that, right?
Yeah.
They did the pin and pull with Nikhil Harry and Isaiah Wynn. And Jakob Johnson, I want to say Jacob Johnson. Like, it's hard to correct myself.
Yeah.
Jakob Johnson absolutely lit the man up and created that tunnel for Damian Harris. He made a hell of a cut, by the way. Okay, like Jakob Johnson, and Bill Belichick has said it. In terms of the team, he's the most improved player on the team.
Yeah.
Like Bill Belichick has nothing but phenomenal things to say about Jakob Johnson.
On those big runs, he was the guy leading the way most of the time too. So
And
I mean, that's
he's
important.
huge.
Yeah,
he has
he's a
put on
big
so
boy,
much
man.
muscle. He's put on so much weight.
Yeah.
And ever since like James Devlin retired and got hurt, we were like, who the hell is this guy, Jakob Johnson?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, he's improved, and he's proved a lot of people wrong, because a lot of people just thought he was this fill-in fullback.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's greatly improved. Number 3, Devon Gottschall.
Yeah,
This man had the game of his life.
he did.
Listen, I love Christian Barmore. I really, really do, and he had a really good game yesterday too, actually. But
That whole defensive line is just, man. Like,
yes, but yesterday,
crazy.
listen, as much as I love Barmore and he had a really good game, yesterday was Devon Godshaw's night.
Yeah.
Okay, when we first signed him, it was 2 years, 16 mil. I was like, oh, all right. I really don't know who this is, but for $8 million a year, that's a little, for someone I don't never heard of, it's a little pricey. He shut me up week 1.
Yep.
Game 1, week 1.
He's played his
Devon
mind out.
Gottschall has played his role so well. He is a great compliment to Barmore. He has taken Barmore under his wing, and I'm telling you, this defensive line, especially next year, when Barmore has a whole year under his wing,
It's gonna be crazy.
scary. Absolutely
We
scary.
gotta keep in mind that this defense is just going to keep improving too. I think one of the points that the Patriots are gonna look at in the offseason is going to be corners and safeties, because I feel like we're starting to run a little low. Not that it's I actually would probably say that it's our biggest weakness right now, aside from like maybe we don't have like the most talent at wide receiver, But I'd say that it probably is our corner play, and not even that it's bad, just more of Devin McCourty is getting a little old, and we had to put Bryant out there yesterday.
He made the game-winning play,
and he did, and that's fair. But you got Adrian Phillips, who I'm not a fan of still.
Dude,
I know.
Critical pass breakups.
I know. I'm still
night.
Not a fan. He also missed a very big tackle on Josh Allen that led for a big run.
Yeah, but everyone misses tackles.
Sure.
And don't forget, here's a really underrated aspect. We did not have Kyle Duggar yesterday.
That's true.
That's
our best tackling corner.
Our best tackling hybrid safety linebacker. We just straight up didn't have him. In a game where tackling was going to be the number one priority, we didn't have our best tackler.
Yeah.
That to me is crazy. Okay.
And guys step up. They do. But I know that the secondary is going to need improvement. It's going to need improvement.
Finally, it's not me getting heat from Colin. Let's go.
Will, you're a clown? Explain. I need to know.
Hold on real quick. Can I give my number 4?
Yes, go.
So you're not... This is probably going to be a segue. Nikhil Harry is my number 4 MVP.
Wow.
Nikhil Harry. Without him, listen, he played almost the whole entire game on offense. And without him, Don Hausberger had a great quote. He's worth his weight in gold on offense, man, when it comes to the run game and blocking. He is clearly out there because, first of all, statistically speaking, he's the number 1 blocking wide receiver in football.
Yeah.
And in the game last night, how crucial that is?
That is very crucial.
And when I talk
He does everything. He's a great wide receiver besides being a wide receiver.
Legitimately. And
that's why, the muffed punt is
Big
bad.
Jake, and I agree with him, that's why I said we should move in the tight end. And that Big Jake's been saying that for a couple of years
now.
That's
not an awful idea. Because he's slow.
he is slow, too.
He can't create separation against corners.
Okay, Gino, now it's time to clown you. Hey,
yeah,
listen,
exactly.
Colin. I want. This is why I said I think it's going to be a segue. Because I wanted to talk about that punt. Okay,
I'm not an Adrian Phillips fan, to sum that up, by the way. I don't care. I'm not a big fan of Adrian Phillips. And here's my thing. With corners, I don't like corners that give up just big plays. And you say it all the time, too.
Phillips is a safety.
Or secondary. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just D-backs who give up big plays, and Adrian Phillips is that guy where he'll give up a lot of big plays. It's the same way I don't like Jonathan Jones. I think he also gives up a lot of big plays.
Well, he's out for the year too.
No, he's out for the year. But even in the versus the Bucks when he was playing, if Antonio Brown catches that ball in the end zone, that's game. Well, and he gets burned a lot.
Listen, if you get beat by Antonio Brown, he's one of the greatest receivers of all time.
Sure, but
sometimes
still,
players are just more talented.
I don't like corners that are just secondary players that give up big plays. I'm sorry, Colin. Adrian Phillips is a good player. He's not my cup of tea. I think he's a little undersized. Look.
How is he undersized if he's playing linebacker sometimes?
Dude, he's still small. He plays big. I'll give him that. He plays big. He plays like a big player, but he just seems like a small dude to me. I don't know. I could be wrong on this. Adrian Phillips could be good. Right now, he's just not.
He had 2 crucial pass breakups last night. That probably if they catch it, they get another touchdown or maybe 2. Phillips was I'm not going to give him the number 1 MVP for last night because to me, like I said, that's the O-line. But he was also a crucial part of that team. And you know what? Yeah, boy. And you know what? I want to talk about Colin, what you said. Like you said, Nikhil Harry was the reason why the game was close. I disagree. I disagree that it was Nikhil Harry's fault. I blame it on the coaching staff. Okay.
For putting him back there.
Yes.
Because he sucks at catching the football.
That's somebody who has never done that in his life. Okay, that's somebody who's never done that in his life. And in a game like yesterday, when catching punts, especially punts that are going all over the place and sporadic, is hard. And that's why you saw them let it go. There was one fair catch that Gunnar made, but for the most part, he just let them go.
Why was Gunnar taken out, though? That's my question.
Well, he wasn't taken out on that Nikhil Harry one. They just had 2 guys back.
Okay.
So they kicked it towards Harry, which is smart, which is exactly what I would do if I was Buffalo.
In conclusion, please keep Nikhil Harry away from big plays as possible.
Yes, but
when it involves the football.
So yeah, seriously. So in terms of blame, I put 95% of the blame to the coaching staff because again, it's like when you put Gronk at safety, like against Miami when the Miami Miracle happened, right? Are
That
you
was
going to blame
bad,
Gronk
too.
for not making that play, or are you going to blame Bill Belichick for putting him back
That's
at
fair.
safety?
That's a fair
right?
point. I
So
can agree with that.
But the reason I give 5% of the blame to Nikhil Harry, because at the same time, you're a professional. Like, if you hear, because most of the time,
I already know the coaches were going poison.
yeah, legit. Like like there's a poison call, and it means just don't touch the punt, let it roll. Like either poison, fire. Like when you hear that, get the hell away.
Yeah.
Okay, like you're a professional. That being with all what I just said being said, you're a professional. You still should know to get the hell away from the ball, especially if people are screaming. But again, like I said, he's never done it in his life. Chalk up an experience there, and hopefully, like an experience that he will never happen, like never have to face ever again. But that's my take on it. Like I said, I personally don't think that he should be given the blame. I blame it on Belichick and the special teams coordinator.
Yeah, all right. So while that game was crazy last night, I mean, you can disagree with all they did was run the ball, whatever. The Patriots are now.
How can you disagree with that?
Or just
it is all they did.
You can complain about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can get angry. Like, all they did was run the ball. Oh, the Patriots are whatever. You can have whatever take that you want. The Patriots are the first in the AFC now, and honestly, like when you look at the two schedules, it doesn't really look like they could give it up. It feels like we could. We could be keeping that title.
We got Indy, then we got Jacksonville, then Buffalo,
Okay.
and then Miami.
I'm gonna pull up the schedules real quick.
Yeah, so the only gimme that I see there is Jacksonville. Because Indy has been hot as hell. Okay, they're white hot. Buffalo, of course, like you saw yesterday, very weird conditions, but still pose a big threat. Miami is white hot. Okay?
I don't know about that.
Well, they've won 5 straight.
Sure.
So
no, they lost.
No,
they lost 2 weeks ago. To who'd they lose to? They just had a loss. Hold on, I'm looking at their schedule.
I thought they won 5 straight, but
no, they.
But anyways, Miami has been on a roll. Okay, freaking Jacksonville's dog shit. That's the only one I see that we really is like a shoe-in for a victory. Okay, Indianapolis, they have the arguable MVP. It's either him or Tom Brady, Jonathan Taylor. Okay, they have one of the best O-lines in the league. Okay, it's unbelievable the unit that they have down there, and it's for cheap too. So that's crazy. And then freaking Buffalo, they pose a threat. Okay, like as we saw last night, we only won by 4 points. Okay, let's not lose
They're in a
sight
win
of
streak.
that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
I thought they lost.
A win streak. So I really don't see us running the table, and if it wouldn't surprise me if we won only one of the next 4 games that we have coming up to bye.
Come on, Gino.
I'm saying it wouldn't. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not saying I predict it. I'm saying if it were to happen,
let's talk about the
Patriots
schedule real quick. Okay, we're 9-4 right now. I think me and both of our predictions were around 12 wins. So I mean, we're looking.
I think I predicted 10-7.
10-7. Okay, I said 11-10. We were in that range. You know what I mean? All right, let's talk about the Colts real quick. Realistically, I don't like. In general, I don't like quarterbacks going against Bill Belichick, which sounds funny, but if you have a quarterback that makes a lot of mistakes and, you make them make a big play and you say, okay, you have to beat us, Belichick's great at winning those games. And Carson Wentz is that type of player where if you make Carson Wentz have to make a play, he's going to make a mistake. And also the Patriots love to take away your best weapon, right? Jonathan Taylor, I think next time we play the Colts, by the way, so we're going to get into
after the bye week.
After the bye week, then Colts. And look, I think they shut down Jonathan Taylor relatively well. I mean, he is the MVP, but it's just something that Belichick does. He takes away the best weapon. The best weapon is Jonathan Taylor. And then, I mean, what is, Indy really after that? I like Frank Reich. I've also really enjoyed the Hard Knocks. I don't know if you've been watching that, but I
haven't watched it, no.
It's very good. I actually really enjoy watching it. So, yeah, you have that. You have, good coach. Their weapons are a little questionable, I would say. T.Y. Hilton's kind of, just old now, and Michael Pittman's okay.
He's emerging. Michael Pittman, I think, is emerging.
Sure, yeah, you can argue that. But then you have Carson Wentz, who's... a gunslinger, but they've tried to make him more of a game manager, and he's been good at that. But I think they're going to make Carson Wentz win the game, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it. So we'll say this one's a 50-50. I think they take it out. Then you have the Bills again, which, okay, this is going to be for real now. I mean, we play the Bills. We're going to have to throw now. I mean, maybe not. Who
Says
knows?
who?
Says who? Who knows? But we got the Bills again. I'd say that's a 50-50. So we could either win both of those or we could lose both. Sure. We have Jacksonville, which we're not going to lose to Urban Meyer. Come on, man. There's no way.
And
we're not
again,
lose.
like the thing with Bill Belichick and rookies, I don't care how talented you are, Trevor Lawrence, okay?
And Trevor Lawrence has not looked like the first overall pick, by the way.
Yeah,
in the slightest.
I will say, like, Trevor, I've said this a couple times, Trevor Lawrence so far, okay, I'm not going to rule him out completely. Trevor Lawrence so far has been the first guy that they've really dubbed up to be this generational talent that has really missed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Luck didn't miss. Manning didn't miss. Like there really hasn't been a miss on these generational talents.
Well, and we did a whole rant about this, right? Where it was, how much of it is Urban Meyer and how much of it is Lawrence? And I'd say it's probably 80-20, where I think Urban Meyer is a terrible head coach, but also, I mean, Trevor Lawrence isn't doing his guys any favor. He hasn't elevated the talent around him, which, yes, is a tall task, but when you're hyped up to be, the best quarterback out of, the best quarterback draft in however many years, I mean, you need to be performing.
Something.
Exactly.
Give me something to work with.
Exactly. So, okay, Jacksonville, yes, I think we beat them. And then we have Miami again. I still don't believe in Miami. I haven't liked Tua so much. I haven't been a fan. I think he throws an accurate ball, yes, but I just don't trust him. He makes a lot of mistakes. Yeah, sure, lefty Drew Brees, exactly. But I mean, I don't trust that whole team right now. They're on the most meaningless win streak ever, I think, right now. So we have that, and look, let's go over to the Bills real quick, right? Their next couple of games, they got Tampa, they got Carolina, they have us again, they have the Falcons, and then the Jets. Those are some losable games. I think those games are more losable than the ones the Patriots have. You have Tampa. I think they lose that game. I think they lose.
I agree.
Okay, if they win, who knows? Carolina, not a gimme. I don't think Carolina's still a gimme. Maybe it's a little different now that there's no McCaffrey, but I still like Matt Rule.
I think Carolina's been shit in the bed. I don't know. I don't remember.
Carolina's not a gimme though. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I love Cam Newton, one of my favorite players of all time. He showed his true colors 2 weeks ago before their bye week.
He did, yeah.
And I don't know.
Good for Cam for getting a job. But.
Yeah, I don't remember if you were on I wouldn't say all in, but I don't know if you were sold on them like I was. We were talking about it a few weeks ago. I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong about the Carolina Panthers. Okay, yeah, I'll completely admit that.
I was not in. I remember saying that.
You weren't. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were right.
You were like their secondary is elite, and I was like, Gino. Do I like J.C. Horn? Yes.
J.C. Horn, Stephon Gilmore,
yes.
Chin, Jeremy Chin, and Abby Chin. Oh. And and Dante Jackson. That's something to behold, man. But anyway,
they were okay. Okay, so they got Carolina. Then they have us again. The Falcons, which, look, are the Falcons terrible? Do they still have Kyle Pitts and weapons? Yes. And then they got the Jets. I still think a lot of these games are more losable than Jacksonville and Miami and the Colts.
The Colts worry me. They really do.
I'm not that worried about the Colts. I'm not going to lie.
Indianapolis, too. I don't know. I don't have a good gut.
This team has so much grit, man. This team plays so physical, though.
I'm telling you, we could go in there and we could ramsack them like we did, like we have most of the teams this season. I'm just telling you that this is one of the first really and truly healthy teams, too, that we're gonna face. Because remember, they didn't have Tre'Davious White. The Bills didn't have Tre'Davious White last night. Okay, obviously the Titans didn't have Derrick Henry.
Okay, I was right. The Colts lost to the Bucs. I should have standed more with that.
Yeah, and don't forget that the Browns had Baker, but he was hobbled. He was very hobbled, and they also didn't have Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. So we really haven't faced. Yeah, their defense is very good as well.
DeForest Buckner's really good.
DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard.
Yes.
That is a good freaking team.
It
Xavier Rhodes has had a resurgence. I wouldn't say a complete resurgence, but he's filled in as a complimentary corner again. Okay, that Colts team is legit, man. And they have Deo Adangbo and Kwity Paye. That's good, man.
I have liked Quadipe. There's no way he's the defensive rookie of the year, but he's had solid year.
Yeah, so let's talk about Buffalo for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Because did you see those press conferences last night?
Oh, they were so sad.
Did
they
you
were
see
so
those press
sad.
conferences? So what do you want to talk about first, McDermott?
I want to talk about
Poyer and Hyde?
McDermott first. That one's big. I actually wasn't even thinking about that
Yeah.
one. But we'll do McDermott first. He literally tried to explain why, or he said he didn't get outcoached while explaining exactly how he got uncoached.
You saw that meme too?
Yes.
Yes.
I think you were the one who sent that to me.
Did I? Oh.
That's insane. You know, he's just like, oh, well, you know, I don't think you can give credit to Belichick, except that he had more success in the red zone and a better overall game plan.
Except
and...
that everything that he just did greater than us here laid out in front of you. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Sean McDermott, I think, is a good coach, and I actually respect the hell out of him. I used to respect the hell out of him. After last night, I'm very disappointed.
It was very excusey.
Like, what would be wrong? Like, I heard this on Felger and Maz, and I completely agree. What would be?
There's no shot.
What would be wrong with Sean McDermott saying, you know what, Bill Belichick and the Patriots always come out prepared. We had to match that level of preparedness and intensity, and tonight we just weren't able to do that. What would be wrong with saying that? Like I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram story. I posted, I go, oh, don't give Bill Belichick all this credit. I go, so don't give him credit for exploiting what you failed to defend.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And I will say, in Sean McDermott's defense, that has to be the worst way to lose, man. That's gotta be the worst way to lose a No, I know, but it's gotta be the worst way to lose a football game in the modern era, where they just run through you the entire time. They just run through and you lose. I would be pissed off. That's annoying. But I mean, you know, you're a professional. But when they're like, "Oh, what happened?" He's just like, "They ran the ball."
and you know, like, how, like, when's the last time you've seen a coach in a post-game press conference say something like demeaning, like to about Bill Belichick, or say something like throwing shade at Bill Belichick? Like, when's the last time you've seen?
It's not smart to do.
It's not. It's not even that it's not smart, because you're completely right. It's not smart, but like,
it's also completely wrong.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Have you?
No. I think who was the coach who used to be an assistant for the Patriots and became the head coach of the Jets? I totally forget his name. Oh my god, I'm not gonna remember. There was like a beef history on it.
I don't remember.
It was something like that, and he would like throw shade, and he would like get former Patriots to come to the Jets, and it was a whole thing. Go watch that sports beef history. I forget what it is.
Yeah, whatever.
It's something like that, but yeah.
So the thing I'm saying is, dude, like, how do you not just acknowledge the fact that you got your dick kicked in?
You did.
It's really that simple. Like, they ran the same 4 freaking plays. They did, and like, it's embarrassing. You should. Oh, yes. Eric Mangini. Yes, thank you, Colin. Thank you, Colin. Okay, you can always count on Colin to know sports names too. By the way, and oh my god, like, I just don't understand. And it's embarrassing. It is completely and utterly embarrassing, and I'm really starting to question whether or not this Bills team is legit.
Bills.
What?
Bills.
No, whether or not this Bills team is legit.
You said Bulls.
Oh, did I say Bulls? Oh, did I say Bulls? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're also
Chicago.
Correct. Chicago. You're also correct. The Bulls are legit. No, I know exactly what you're.
And my boy Damar.
Yeah, hey Damar. Hey, get healthy, Damar.
It's about Damar, baby, Damar.
Damar. But yeah, I haven't seen someone throw shade at Belichick, like this in a while. So it's rough to see. I mean, it's also that stuff comes back and bites you when Mac Jones throws for 300 plus yards in a couple of weeks. I mean, we'll be
when
it's gonna happen when they play in a couple of weeks and Mac Jones looks better than Josh Allen and he lights up that entire defense. I mean,
hey, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Poyer and the Micah Hyde one.
This was the other one
because the reporter asked kind of like a question to egg on, to kind of get a rise out of the players. Like, that's completely and utterly, like, I'm willing to admit that. But let's not forget here that freaking they said, oh, isn't that embarrassing? Like, oh, like, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you, like, that they just ran down your throat every single time? Yeah. And they were like, what are we doing here, man? Like, oh, we'll remember that.
Do you want me to roll the interview really quick?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Because we can do that now. We're live.
Oh, can we? Oh, yeah, do it, bro.
We'll roll it real quick.
40 years since the team has won a game running that few times in a game. He's passing that few times. Is that embarrassing?
I mean, what kind of
Boy, what are we doing, bro?
What kind of question is that?
It's a question. The nation's going to be criticizing you calling yourself.
All right. I think we
Keep
gave
that.
up
Keep. All right.
7 points.
Yeah.
14
14 to
14.
14 to 10. Is that the final score?
We made stops when we had to. They had one big run. I mean, they got good backs.
Okay, so we'll cut it off right there at the 30-second. The question, it's kind of hard to hear, but I mean, you don't even, the response is just, I hate when players do this. By the way, I hate the I am a communications major here in college, and look, I know the questions that are supposed to be trap questions when you're asking, and you don't even need to hear the question most of the time. They just be like, what are we talking about? So, but look, you got to understand the situation. Players are upset, right? They're upset, especially the defense. They're gonna get defensive. And when you ask a question like, "Are you embarrassed?" They're like, we only let up 14 points, and the you know what I mean? While that is very, like, as I've said before, and last night for the Bills was excusey, where it felt like a lot of excuses. You can't have answers like that. You can't. It's not. First of all, it's not good for the locker room. Guys in the locker room, I can tell you, don't get riled up over being a dick in the media. I don't care. People will be like, "Oh yeah, that'll get the locker room fired up." No, it's not, because there's people who genuinely don't like to talk to the media, and when you stir stuff up, it makes it no better. So having an answer like that and being like, "Oh, we in the red zone, we did this, we did that, we did that," while it was probably not the best question to be asked, I mean, you just look like a dope for giving an answer.
Listen, and let me tell you this right now, like. First of all, I've seen a lot of people, like, I won't lie, like, I'm a sucker for reading comment sections and everything.
Yes.
I am a sucker for that. Like, I usually don't comment or get involved in any, like, the social media stuff that goes on. Every now and again I'll comment, but most of the time I just read the comments. Okay, and I see, man, that reporter asked, like, that reporter was so insensitive. Like, that reporter was so stupid. Like, that's a trash. Like, that reporter shouldn't have asked that question. And to me, tough shit. Yeah. That's the way I look at it. The reporter was well within
You think Mac Jones likes to be asked if he's the next Tom Brady?
No.
In every press conference?
No, legit.
There's no way he likes that.
And this is what I'm saying. Like, that reporter had every right.
I think we have the full quote right here. It was hard to hear, but this comment, which I mean seems pretty. It's got a lot of likes, so we'll roll with it. Says, "Is it embarrassing to lose to a team that passed so few times?" Which, and this is exactly what I said. It sounded something like this, but now when we have the full thing laid out, is that kind of a trap question? I mean, yes. You're asking, an adult who plays professional. That's something that gets guys mad. Are you embarrassed? You know what I mean?
And to be fair, I get mad too.
That is a bad question. I'll give that's a bad question. But also, I think you need to be better. You know what I mean? You need to have a better response. Cool. Because if you take out the embarrassing part, and you just blah blah, what is it? I don't know how you phrase this better.
I go if I was a reporter, maybe I'd say like, would you? Is it disappointing knowing that the game plan didn't work?
Yeah,
or something like that. Is it disappointing knowing that the game plan didn't work? Because
we know what the reporter want. I don't think a reporter wanted an answer like this. But he should have known, and also, like, it's his job. You know what I mean? Like, do we know everything? No, but I mean, I feel like you need to know your crowd and your audience. And this seems like he wanted a response to, okay, they didn't throw the ball, right?
Yeah.
He wanted a response to, okay, why couldn't you stop the run? That feels like that's what that reporter wanted the answer to. Why couldn't you stop the run? And this is just phrased really bad. Right? It's just phrased bad.
And you know what? Here's the thing. The way I look at it, yes. Like, it definitely is, like you said, a trap question. But at the same time, Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots ran the same 4 plays all game, and you couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're a professional, and I'm telling you, you saw plays last night that you see at the Pee-wee level of high school. I'm sorry, not the Pee-wee level of middle school. I'm sorry.
Elementary school.
Elementary school. And you are a professional, and especially in the case of Poyer and Hyde, who, in my opinion, is like a top 3 safety duo in the league.
Yeah.
Like, when you see that and you can't stop it, you're stacking the box. You're putting pretty much all 11 guys in the box because it's a tight bunch formation, and you can't stop it. You deserve to be asked a question like that. Like, they should be embarrassed.
Yeah.
It's completely and utterly embarrassing.
That's also, and I'm reading a couple of these comments, which also some of them are kind of funny, but this one pretty much says that it's a shot at the offense, also saying, oh, we only gave up 14 points, kind of like taking shots to the offense, like, that they didn't do their job. You also did not do your job. You knew the run was coming every single play. Okay, you could write off the first half and be like, okay, or even the first quarter and be like, they're on the wrong side of the wind. They're not going to throw. They had that Damian Harris touchdown, and it's not working for them throwing the ball right now. Or it's working for them running it.
Don't forget that Damian Harris touchdown happened because of the Matt Breida fumble.
Yeah, it did.
So that they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. But even if you're just like, oh, the offense didn't do their job. You did not do your job. You know the run is coming. You should have known by the end of the second quarter the run is coming. It's coming. It's going to happen. And you're in the third quarter and they're still pushing the ball down the field. Run and engage 8.
First of all, I'm not
Set the whole squad.
I'm not willing to, like, you're being too nice, Will. Honestly, you should know play one that the run is coming.
Yeah.
First of all, Bill Belichick has been a coach in this league for 40 plus years now. Okay, he hasn't been a head coach for that long, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You know that on a sunny day, 70 degrees and sunny, he loves to primarily run the football. What the hell do you think he's going to do in 50-mile-per-hour winds?
Yeah.
What do you think he's going to do? Like, you're completely right. Like, at a certain point, they should have known, okay? But play one, they should have known.
Yeah.
Before play one. Like, it doesn't matter if you know... If you like, oh, can't stop Bill Belichick. It doesn't matter if he's elite, blah, 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 he's the GOAT, whatever. You know what the plan is.
Yeah.
That's just a part, that's like a matter of being outperformed. That's a matter of not being prepared and not being physical enough and not having the heart and the desire and the drive to want to stop this team.
Yeah.
And, I'm sorry.
No. You make full sense here. It's not good. That's not a good... And first of all, just to go back to the interview, that's not a good answer at all. You can't have answers like that where that affects the locker room. I feel like when you're
absolutely.
out there,
So
going,
that
we only gave up 14. We only. You can't make excuses like that in the NFL. You can't, and you look like a dope every time you try.
Yes, and not only is it cool or not cool to give excuses in general, I will reiterate the same 4 plays.
Yeah.
And you couldn't stop it. And you stacked the box.
Yeah.
Every play.
And still couldn't stop it.
And you could not stop. And not to mention, Damian Harris barely played.
Yeah.
He had
was
that
hurt.
touchdown.
He was hurt.
Okay, he had that touchdown, granted, I'll give you that. But I think Colin actually gave the stat earlier, Colin Ames. He said out of the 51 offensive snaps that you ran, Damian Harris was on the field for 13 of them.
Wow.
Meaning
I did not even
Ramondre
know
Stevenson and Ramondre's good, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Ramondre Stevenson and Brandon Bolden,
who's not as good,
the focal point of your offense. A rookie and a 10 plus year veteran who is not known as a primary runner.
He's a third down back at best. He's
back
not even good at that half the time.
A special teamer when the full team is healthy. If James White was healthy, he'd be a special teamer.
Yep, he wouldn't be in the rotation.
Those 2 men were the focal point of the offense. You were a Super Bowl favorite for some people coming out the beginning of the year, and you could not stop them.
Yeah, it's not a good look for the Bills for sure. First of all, if you claim, and look, I claimed it too. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought the Bills were going to be very, very good.
That wasn't a slight at you, by the way.
No,
when I said, oh, some people. Yeah.
No, I know. But I deserve it too. I thought that this Bills team was going to be very, very, very good. I thought Josh Allen was going to be the MVP. I thought him and Diggs were just going to get better. And granted, they have picked it up, as we've gotten to the later part of the season. But they just haven't looked like how everyone thought they were going to look. And then you have a game like this where you just get rolled and like absolutely manhandled. And this is what I love about this Patriots team. They play a man's football. You know what I mean? Just pound it. You get physical, and that's all this defense is. It's just big physical guys who, you know what? We don't care if we get penalties hitting, Josh, or getting people out of bounds. You know what I mean? We don't care. We're here to play physical
ridiculous,
football.
By the way.
That was a bad call.
That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life.
You're not allowed to hit a guy that's in bounds now. That's insane. I get situational, but Josh Allen is leaping.
He made no effort to go out of bounds.
Yeah.
You're right. He was leaping for the first down, and it wasn't even a full-on shove out of bounds. He literally just extended his arms to make contact. Yeah. It was light contact, and it was just so happened to carry enough momentum to bring him out of bounds.
Yeah,
that's it.
I would say the officiating was pretty good for this game too.
I don't think it was one holding or anything. Am I wrong? All right,
well, also we gotta give credit to the Patriots. They play very disciplined and very good football. But we didn't see bogus call they'll just throw a flag. A lot of the balls were uncatchable, and there wasn't a whole lot of pass interference, and they knew
there wasn't a whole lot of passing.
Well, yeah, that's it. But also, you knew it was going to be a physical game. There wasn't a whole lot of BS calls. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was good.
Real quick, ever since the Texans game, where they moved Ted Karras to left guard, and they kind of had a revolving door there before Trent Brown came back at right tackle. This offensive line has looked completely rejuvenated.
Looks so good.
Okay, before we re-signed David Andrews, we re-signed Ted Karras, who went to Miami for a year, on a 1-year, $5 million deal to be our center. That was the plan before we brought back David Andrews. We moved Ted Karras to left guard, and this offensive line has looked very cohesive. Do you extend Isaiah Wynn?
Yes. Yeah, you have
extend Ted Karras? Yes, that's one man I will completely and utterly admit we have to give the back to.
Yes, we need to give it back. I still love Trent Brown at right tackle. I still love David Andrews. I still love Shaq Mason at what? Right guard?
Right guard.
Okay, and then you have Andrews, then you have Karras, and you still have Isaiah Wynn at left tackle. That's a very good offensive line. Not only is I like Isaiah Wynn as a left tackle, because I think he's big enough to be able to, block the best pass rushers and to kind of hold down that blind side. But also his run blocking's been very good too. David Andrews, the Bear, we love David Andrews. Shout out Colin Ames. He's a bit. You don't love him?
I said, how do you?
I was like, dude, come on now, we gotta catch up.
I don't want to hear shit. Even if I did say that, you did just say you don't like Adrian Phillips.
Yeah.
So.
I'll admit I'm wrong about Adrian Phillips if he starts, performing more. But he's not my cup of tea. He's not my cup of tea.
He has performed so well this year.
I think he's small.
Oh my goodness! Oh man, I'm gonna have a heart attack.
There's people I'm not fans of. I'm just not you're not a fan of Giannis. I'm not a fan of Adrian Phillips.
Okay, fine.
One of those is way worse than the other.
Fine. Yeah, I know. Giannis sucks.
No, I'm gonna make you wear a Giannis jersey. I got one right now. You can throw it on right now if you want.
Sorry, I'm not last place in the fantasy league. No punishment for me.
That's true. That's true. I wonder what that punishment's gonna end up being. I feel like we should have done that at the beginning of the year.
It's either gonna be between Dom or your brother Brady.
Yeah.
So, dude, if Brady gets it 2 years in a row, we have to do something real special.
Oh, he's not just getting the golden toilet seat, the golden shitter at this point.
Yeah,
we're gonna make him do the IHOP challenge or something.
No, dude.
Have you seen that?
Dude,
the IHOP
we should
challenge?
have him do the one. I have. We should have him do that one chip challenge.
Oh no, he'd actually die.
You think he would?
Yeah. That man does not. I think. Are we good? We satisfied? We wrapped up.
I'm good. Do we have Willie Nick picks?
No, okay. It's Tuesday and I didn't do them. But
it might be. Yeah,
I'll get back to the Willie Nick picks. Before we wrap up, I hope the whole Nicholson fam, because I know a lot of them are watching. I hope you guys are good right now. I'm kind of exiled here at college.
Thou shalt not pass.
Yeah, exactly. My parents got COVID right now, but they're gonna be doing better, or they're doing good right now, which is good. So I know they're listening. I love you guys. I hope you stay healthy and feel better. First and foremost, I'd like to thank God.
I can accomplish all through Christ.
Man, second, I'd like to thank my mama. I love that.
You're the real MVP.
You're the real MVP. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
This was a very well flowing episode.
Yeah, I looked up and it was we're at 40 minutes. I was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Really already.
Yeah. No, exactly. But thank you all for for listening to us. It's going to be on Spotify probably tomorrow because I have nothing going on as I am here in Bridgewater and not at home in
Bored in the
Marshfield.
house, and I'm in the house bored.
Yeah, literally. That's me. So I hope you guys all enjoyed listening. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff.
I really
at
enjoyed
Conti
this
and Nick.
episode, bro.
It was fun. I mean, the only thing that I would enjoy, more than this episode is if maybe we had, a little
John Bro!
Peace, ladies and gentlemen.